Guys, how you doing? I know you're seeing the title, What's Tammy Cooking? You're like, you know what? This isn't Tammy. I'm confused. What's going on? It's crazy. Well, it's the husband takeover. Tammy's been kicking ass, doing her thing, cooking a bunch of different dishes, doing all this 174 that she's working on. If you haven't heard about 174, make sure you check it out. She's going to be talking more about it tomorrow. Potentially, we're thinking about doing a podcast tomorrow, starting that out once a week. But she's been doing her thing, so I was like, I got to do my part. I got to get out here. I got to put some more content out there. I got to help. I got to cook because I'm hungry. She comes home. I'm not doing too much right now. I got to participate. I got to be a team player. So I thought once a week, every other week, I'll just go ahead and as I'm looking through these cookbooks, I find something that's interesting, something piques my interest. Let's see if I can cook it. It's either going to come out good, bad, indifferent, in the middle. Who knows? Don't know. I don't know. But first thing I'm going to do, because I always forget, I give Tammy a hard time, is I'm going to go over here and see if anybody is paying attention. Turn down the volume. Put this up here so I can see it. If you're not already Tina, Lisa, hey, how are you doing? We got one viewer. This is going to be a delicious dish. I hope you make it. Something that would really go well with it would be some lumpia. It's that kind of good Asian quality dish. But so mine are going to be pretty quick and easy. It's not going to be too long, too drawn out. I've already gone ahead and I've got a lot of the ingredients prepped already. We're going to do this quick, easy. We're doing keto right now. So a lot of these dishes are going to be either 100% keto or something I really wanted to eat. And I'm going to see if Tammy can help me make it as keto as possible. So first one we're going to go through. And this is some books. Oh, someone's waving at me. Marilyn, hey, how you doing? This is another delicious dish. Everything I make is delicious. Even if it's horrible, it's delicious. Delicious. So, book we're going to look at today. I'm going to try to bring this a little bit closer, Tammy. Let me know if I get good for you. We are doing Low Carb Yum 5 ingredient keto, 120 easy recipes. You might have recognized this book. I believe we used it for one of your other videos. Yeah, Tammy, or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so this might be a hint to her that something coming up on one of her secret recipe videos could be coming out of this book. Recipe that we picked is ginger beef and asparagus. So we've got some beef, salt, pepper, avocado oil. You can see we did not use the avocado oil. We made a little substitution. Got some garlic. We got some coconut. I say this wrong. How do you say this correctly, Tam?
I think we pronounce it coconut aminos.
Aminos. Coconut aminos. Now she's giving me this look that she's not sure if that's the correct pronunciation of the word. So
a substitute for soy sauce.
Substitute for soy sauce. Okay, so there's the ingredients. You can get a good shot of them, screenshot. If not, we'll put them up later on. Put my bookmark. Here's what it's supposed to look like. Bookmark we have right here in case you're wondering. We've been doing keto. One of the main things we've been using keto products is this Keto Nat Improve It products. They work pretty good. But I want to get a little bit closer so we can show everybody the ingredients. Yum, can't wait. I can't wait either. I've been looking at this recipe and been thinking about doing it for a while now. Okay, so we have got our beef, sirloin beef. We went ahead and it's supposed to be chopped up into thinner slices. Here, I'll show you guys. You can see it. It's really supposed to be thinner slices, but yeah, I didn't do a very good job at that. And so our slices are significantly bigger. So what we're going to want to do is make sure we compensate for that in our cooking time. Book does say that, I know Tammy's getting mad at me. I touched the meat and I'm touching her book, so I'm going to have to not do that again. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and rip my hands off real quick.
While he's doing that, I can give you a quick tip on cutting your meat thinner.
Look, Tammy, I'm using the hand towel this time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I get yelled at all the time for not using the right towel.
To make it easier to cut your meat thinner, you can put your meat in the freezer for about 30 minutes or so then it's stiffer and then you can cut it thinner. It makes it a lot easier.
Yes, it does. Now let's see if I can find the recipe. Page 148 if you guys have the book. So As you can see, this smaller cuts, the directions did say do it smaller. I don't follow directions a lot of time. I'm bad about that. You never want to put anything together with me from IKEA. It goes wrong. So it wants us to, in a large skillet, heat the oil and add the beef and cook it for about 2 minutes. I'll probably go ahead and cook it for a little bit longer than 2 minutes to compensate for the bigger pieces of beef. So we're going to deviate a little bit from there. Another deviation you're going to notice is we've added some red pepper flakes. The recipe does not call for those, but Tammy and I were talking and we thought a little bit of heat might be kind of good for the dish, yeah? Give it a little extra flavor. So we're going to add the red pepper flakes that's going to be used for seasoning in the meat. Also, I noticed that we had some onions in the refrigerator. Some green onions. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the stem part, throw it in with the beef when it cooks, give it a little bit of an onion flavor. And we'll use this towards the end as a garnish. So that way Uncle Roger will be happy. Ay-ya, for those of you who might get that reference. We've got our asparagus cut in about 2 inches, roughly, give or take. Now, we don't have our avocado oil. We're going to be using extra virgin olive oil. But to my understanding, that shouldn't really matter too much for the keto stuff, should it?
No, that won't. That'd be fine.
This is our coconut aminos, thanos, whatever, same thing. And then right here, what we've got is we've got our garlic and our ginger. Thank you very much. Now, I was all getting set to just go ahead and show you guys how to chop the garlic and ginger the correct way. And Tammy was like, dude, we've already got this stuff pre-chopped. Might as well just use that and be quicker. And I was like, you know what? Good call. I'll let you be the person to show people how to cut those the correct way because I'll probably end up cutting my fingers off. And that is for a whole other video. So we've got all of our ingredients here. Let's go ahead and move things around, get the skillet going, and start this off. Okay, so my first video, a little bit nervous. This is actually 2 purposes. If you follow me over on Deathlocker Podcast on Twitch, I do a video game play on there, and I was saying once I hit a certain goal, I was going to go ahead and add video to my channel. Got the video stuff, haven't got it all set up yet. I'm playing with it, but promise is a promise. So I said that I was going to go ahead, and when I hit 40 followers, I was going to throw video on there so y'all could see the face. So here's the face. Be doing more stuff here. Head over to Deathlocker. Just like you should get your friends to follow this channel more too. It's really simple. Hit the follow button, hit your notifications, quick and easy, barely an inconvenience. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Follow me at Deathlocker, a lot of cross-pollination. Everything that we do on here, we are putting up on YouTube. So make sure you head over to channel TL71 on YouTube and subscribe and follow, comment, all that good stuff. You know how the algorithm goes. So a little bit nervous on here. You get the first time I'm just jumping across a couple bridges. So Spindrift, my favorite drink. Went ahead, grabbed some Jameson's. We're just having some Spindrift. Jameson's are nice. Get the nerves a little less on edge. So that was a cheers for my Atlanta people who are watching. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to move this out of the way so we can not make a mess. I try to cook as clean as I can. The first thing we're going to be doing is the meat. So everything that we're going to be using for the meat, we were going to put right here. Bam. Let's go ahead and we got our pan. Now, this is one of my wife's nice little bougie pan. I can't tell you anything about it. Why is this pan so bougie that when I was like, I'm going to grab a tong, you're like, dude, we don't have the right kind of tongs. If you use the wrong kind of tong, I'm going to take this phone and throw it at you.
It's non-stick, and if you knock it with metal, it's going to ruin it.
The look of disgust on her face right now was awesome. Okay, so I need my oil, and let's get my book out and see how much oil. Page 1.
Probably a couple tablespoons.
Well, let's look at the recipe. So this is, we're using this as an inspired. We're making our own version of this, and if it comes out pretty good, I think we might add it to your cookbook. What do you think?
Sounds like it'll be good, so I think it will be.
Okay, so over a high heat. So let's go ahead and get our high heat on. We don't need no.
Not too high.
Well, I wasn't going to do super broil. I was going to do like about 4. Or should I go 5?
Go 5.
Yeah, so we'll go 5. I always try to just make sure that.
You can't put non-stick skillets on high heat.
Okay, we need 3 tablespoons of the avocado oil. Okay, so we're gonna put our, oh, you know what? I'm gonna turn that off real quick because the step I totally forgot to put this over here is we need to put our spices on our meat. I want to do that before.
It's gonna be kind of hard in that small bowl.
I wish I would have thought about that ahead of time. You know what? We're gonna adapt. We're gonna do probably the dumb way of doing this. So whatever any cooking people see this, you're gonna be like, hey dummy, this is not the right way to do it. But here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go like this. Right? And I'm just gonna throw for me. Here, fix this. Stop laughing at me. Stop laughing at me. So my logic is I'm making less dishes. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of this in here because we're gonna cook this up in 2 different batches anyway, right? So I'm gonna throw a little bit of that in there. Here we got our spice right here. This is our salt, pepper, and red pepper. I should have told you the ratios. See, again, first time doing this, I'm not prepared. So we're using a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. The recipe originally called for a 1/4 teaspoon. The meat's a little bit more meat than what the original recipe called for. So we're adding in some extra salt to compensate. We're keeping the black pepper at 1/4 teaspoon. And since we're adding in the chili flakes, we put in 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes also. So that's the flavor we're going for at the moment. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna use our finger, mix this up pretty good. You know, just, it's not mixing up super good, but you get the idea.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right, so we're gonna sprinkle, sprinkle. We don't want to use it all up. So let's get on there, move it around, move it around. Sprinkle, sprinkle, move it around, move it around. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit more of the meat back here on top. Stop laughing at me. Now my logic is, I don't know, dude, stop laughing. There's a very sound logic in my head when I did this. And I'm sure there's some people out there who 100% agree with this. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are looking at this thinking it's crazy. See, I'm multitasking too much. No, there's no such thing as too much multitasking, Marilyn. There's always room for multitasking. So, we've got all this, a little more. Now, there's a little bit left, and the reason I'm doing that is, what do you think? You think I should add some at the very end once it's all kind of cooked for extra seasoning, or just put it all in here? Okay. So we are sprinkling. This is a great time for you guys to send links to your friends and family, the folks who deliver your pizzas, and tell them they need to follow channel TL71 here on Twitch.
Sabrina says, "Oh my God, I feel like I'm watching my younger self cook."
Okay, I've never had anything that you've cooked, period. So until I see you cook something, you can just, zip it. There, buddy, Hallie. Your younger self kind of cooked this deliciousness. Okay, here we go. Now we can go ahead and we can put our oven on high, or not our oven on higher thing on 5, and take a beverage. Okay, we've got this, and we said how much did we need? 3 tablespoons, right? Three tablespoons of the oil. So we've got our tablespoon here.
Of the what?
Of the extra virgin olive oil. See, that's what I may or may not have already indulged in some adult party behaviors before we started cooking. So Tammy's keeping me on point, keeping me from going too far off a track and screwing this up too bad. So I almost put this coconut allulose, amulose, stannose crap in here, whatever this is. What is the purpose of this while I'm pouring what does this do for the dish?
It's like soy sauce.
Because soy is a bean keto, so it's basically a soy. Okay,
Just some people like to stay away from soy, so that's a good alternative.
Okay.
To soy sauce.
Okay, so we're gonna do this 3 times. 1.
She says I'll cook you lumpia when you come.
Sure. Well, anyone ever want to come visit us and cook us lumpia here? What is our Oklahoma? Oklahoma doesn't get good lumpia. Put this.
Don't get rid of that.
Don't get rid of this.
I'm gonna need it for the coconut stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put it over here. Then thank you. Good call. See, that's why I keep her around. She's a smart one.
She says, what are you drinking?
I am having Spindrift here. Give me my can of Spindrift, please. Which is the water of champions. As I've been trying to get less fat in my life, one of the things I've been doing is, replacing sodas with other things. I used to really like the carbonated sparkling waters. After my whole COVID experience, I just didn't really like them as much anymore, and I found that Spindrift, a little expensive. They're about, I don't know, $5-6 depending upon where you get them for a pack of 6. $8 for a pack of, or a pack of 8, or $8 for a pack of 6. Pack of 8. But I really like them, so I just threw some ice in there, and Tammy threw in the appropriate amount of Jamesons, and I put some Spindrift, and that's what it is. Okay, so we got this going. Let's not waste this oil. I don't know. You think we really need to do this in batches? This is a pretty good sized pan. Well,
put it in slowly because you don't want to stew it.
Yeah. So we were kind of concerned whether or not we would need to do this in batches. You want to get a little closer?
Sorry guys, I'm horrible at the cameraman.
One of the things that we really want to stress with our 174 is teamwork. So, when your friend, coworker, wife, husband, partner, whatever label you want to put on it, I think we can do the whole thing. If they're working on something to try to better themselves, it's important to show them some support. And a lot of times, the easiest way to show them support is to do something that's a little bit outside your own comfort zone. And for me, this is a little bit outside my comfort zone. And for Tammy, she's learning how to use just some basic camera movement stuff and things of that nature, and that's putting her outside her comfort zone. So together, we are both supporting each other by simultaneously doing things to get us outside of our comfort zones, which I think is awesome. I think that's a step in the right direction, just to be better people and just to be able to better understand those around you, because if you understand what their goals are and how you can help them with their goals, then karma usually comes back and helps you with that. So there you go, a little self-help for our meal. A little self-help for our meal. So we're supposed to cook this for about 2 minutes or until it's no longer pink. So we're gonna let that go for a little while longer. But yeah, the meat's pretty, I'm trying to break it down to where we don't have too much stuff on top of each other. I did cut the meat a little bit thick, so it's going to take more than probably the 2 minutes to cook.
Get rid of that whole.
I'm sorry? Oh, get rid of the bowl. Good idea. Put it over here. See, again, that's why I keep you around. You're the smart one. I think I'm going to let that, I don't know. What do you think? Is it getting too close to stewing? Or should that reduce down? Just let it do its thing? Or should I just pour some of it out in the sink?
Just leave it alone for now.
Yeah, seeing what we got going on right now, it's kind of clear to me probably should have went ahead and done this in batches. And I could be wrong on this. Tammy, you can tell me if I'm right. One thing I didn't take into consideration is we put, salt elements on there, which draws out the moisture. So that could be what's helping create some of this extra water we have going on here.
It could.
Or is it that? And because this doesn't look like fat, because that piece of meat wasn't very fatty. We do want to get some color on this. What do you think? Let's keep letting it do its thing.
Just leave it alone. Just don't move it around. Just leave it.
And that's something that I am really bad about in cooking. Not, I would to say that I'm a novice cook would be a lie altogether. I'm the kind of guy who I know basic fundamentals because I watch TV and I watch YouTube. So one of the things is I have problems with is patience when it comes to cooking. So not fiddling around with the food, not like it's killing me. I'm having like this OCD kind of like monk. I want to grab this and just play around with it, but I gotta let it do its thing. I gotta. This is just looking very watery, looking very soupy there. I'm getting a little concerned.
I think that'll cook out.
Think it'll cook out, huh? Should I go ahead and throw the onions in there and try to make use of our extra water and see if it'll help with the onions to help coat? See, she doesn't want to say anything, but
Go ahead.
okay. Well,
It's your recipe. Do what you want.
okay. So it's my recipe. Do what I want. That is the universal sign of I think we made a wrong decision somewhere, and
I think it's gonna taste good.
well, I'm concerned about all this water.
Well, if you want to try and take a little bit out, you can.
Would be the best way to just get a spoon and kind of ladle it into here.
I probably would just tilt the pan a little and get some with the paper towel or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna totally make a mess there. I'm gonna go. Can you hand me a ladle, please?
To me, the ladle would be messy for me.
Yeah, I mean this probably is a bad decision, but I'm just using the small thing right here. So it looks like what I did is I did not do a good job. I should have done this in batches because we are inadvertently stewing our meat.
The only problem with taking all that out is that that's flavor.
Yeah, but
You're gonna lose flavor doing that.
at the same time, I don't want stewed meat. So I guess I can always save it off to the side here, and maybe if I take too much out, I can maybe add some more in. What do you think? What do you guys think in the chat? Is this a good idea or is this a bad idea? Should I just let it reduce down? Or am I trying to salvage it in the right way? Our chat has no idea. How about this? If you guys are seeing this on YouTube, what do you guys think? Did I make a big mistake right now? Should I just let's reduce down?
Now separate all the pieces of meat out.
Now let's go ahead and do this again. Yeah, leave comments below. Let me know what you think. If you think I did this bad, I'm kind of thinking this might have worked a little bit. It just seems like it's still congealing over to one side. Got a few pieces that are still kind of pink. Oh man, so this is supposed to be a quick recipe. This is supposed to just go in the pan in about 2 or 3 minutes. This is supposed to cook, brown up, but my first mistake I made was I did not cut the meat thin enough. I thought I was doing good cutting the meat because I wasn't hacking it up. I was getting nice, good, pressuring one slice cuts. So I was feeling pretty fancy with myself. But lesson learned, I should have been paying more attention to the picture that they gave me. Tammy's just trying to get me being an alcoholic, drinking my sorrows away while we're creating even more juice. But adapting and overcoming is key, isn't it?
Turn up the heat just a little.
Okay. I'm going to turn up the heat a little more, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of just a little bit more of this juice. Not a lot, just a little bit more. Because once we put the asparagus in, it's probably going to coat, some of it's going to get coated with the asparagus, yeah? Now, one thing I should mention, and correct me if I'm wrong, and Tammy was alluding to this a little bit when she was saying we're losing the flavor, is a lot of this extra juice when we put the coconut aminos in there, it's going to help to kind of create a sauce type thing. So we don't want to get rid of that too much because we want to still have that liquid to help coat the asparagus and the beef. Okay, let's see what our recipe says if we're supposed to bring it down to a slower temperature. Okay, so at this point it's telling us to put our asparagus in, cook that for a few minutes. Well, I appreciate the meat looks pretty good. It's not quite the color that I was looking for. I was hoping for it to have a little bit of brown. I do like a little bit of char in my meat. I like my meat to have a little, not bitter is the right word for it, but just that char flavor and that little extra texture. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna put in our asparagus. Now what we did with our asparagus is we just cut them into, what, about 2-inch pieces. Something I learned new today was when you get your asparagus, what is it, the root, what you were saying, the bottom part?
Oh, the woody part?
The woody part, all you gotta do is just, you grab the bottom of it and then about the middle and you just naturally start to flex it and then it will break naturally at the point where you want it to break. So you don't have to worry about cutting it randomly. You can do that and then you can adjust your size from there. Now this said to only cook the asparagus for 2 or 3 minutes. I was afraid that the asparagus wouldn't cook long enough, but Tammy says this breaks down pretty good. Let's see, where we got to put in our other stuff. So we're supposed to cook this for about 2 or 3 minutes. Then we'll be adding in our ginger. We'll be adding in our garlic. We'll add this in at the end. We'll go ahead and put this away over here. Clean as we go. Fresh avocado. What am I making? So what I'm making is ginger beef asparagus, but I modified the recipe by adding a little bit extra salt, added in some green onions, and we added in some red peppers or red chili flakes to give it a little extra oomph. Right now where we're at is we've got the meat pretty much cooking where we want it. We've got the asparagus in. The asparagus is cooking. We're gonna let this go for about another 2 minutes or so. Then we're gonna add in our garlic and we're gonna add in our ginger. We have 2 cloves worth of garlic and we have 1 tablespoon worth of ginger. We're gonna add that in there. We're gonna move it around. Over here, we've got some extra stock, for lack of a better word. What would you call that? That's what it kind of be a stock. We got a little bit leftover stock from the meat. It got a little stewy. We have this aside, so that way if we do need to add a little extra, looks like we might be getting our browning here. That's reduced down, I like that. See right here, our meat's starting to get that color we like. Okay, we were at super broil. We have a super broil in ours. So we're just gonna cook this, move this around. Once I put this in, I'll probably go ahead and put a little bit of that stock in, so that way it kind of gives a little bit of that sauce. Nothing crazy, maybe just what, like a splash? What do you think, Tammy?
Well, after you put the coconut in, see what it looks like.
That's right, I'll wait for the coconut. So we're gonna go ahead, we're just gonna throw all this in. I probably should have mixed it together more, but, oh, I was trying to put that in there. Okay, close enough. We're close enough, guys. Let's go ahead.
The asparagus still looks like it needs a few minutes.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I did a very good job spreading around the garlic and the ginger. So hopefully I can get that spread around a little better. I don't know, what do you think? You think I should add a little bit extra garlic and ginger?
I don't think it had enough. I added a little extra garlic because we didn't use fresh.
Gotcha. Speaking of that, while this is cooking, why don't you grab me the 2 products we use so I can show what we use for our garlic and ginger at the refrigerator. We'll let this cook down for a little bit. I appreciate it. Fresh avocado. I think it is going to be tasty. I've been trying to get into more healthier foods, and I don't know, it was weird, this avocado thing or this asparagus thing looked good. So for minced garlic, we didn't do anything fancy. We just used Walmart Great Value garlic. I'm sure that if you use something fresh, it would taste a lot better. And there's a lot of people out there who are like, oh, fresh is better, do fresh, do fresh. But, you know, if you're trying to have fun cooking, sometimes it's easier to use what you have in the refrigerator. Don't stress it. Don't worry about going buying a bunch of stuff. Just adjust. That's what we did with the avocado oil. We didn't have any avocado oil, so we just used something else. And then we also had this Spice World ginger. Same thing. It's probably not going to taste as good as if you used fresh. Nothing's as good as if you use fresh, but if you have this in your refrigerator, if this makes it easier for you to cook, if this makes it easier for you to enjoy yourself being creative on your meals, use it. You know, at some point, if you find something you really think needs to be fresh, you know, use some fresh. But yeah, those are pretty good. I like them. That's what we use. We're getting that color finally on the meat. I like that. This is looking a lot better. I think what I got stuck in my head, Tammy, is I wanted the pieces of beef to be bigger than the asparagus. I know that's dumb, but now this is the preferred piece of asparagus. And why is that, Tammy? Why do people like the head of the asparagus the best?
That's supposed to be the best part.
Oh, that's looking good. That's looking really tasty. So is there, I mean, I'm feeling like we're getting close to it maybe being a little overcooked, so I'm going to cook this down just a little bit. Is there a way that you'd recommend for me to test, babe, to know if the asparagus is done? Okay, so you know what? Since you're my taste tester, let me know if something's tasted well.
Well, press on them with your spatula and see how they feel.
I mean, they're pretty hard still.
You just hit metal on my tongue.
No, I didn't.
I heard it.
That was pre-metal. See, there's nobody in here. Here, try this. Tell me if you think it's tasty. If you think it's cooked or not. That chewing tells me you don't think it's cooked yet.
It's not quite done. Almost.
So I'm going to keep it at a lower heat so we may have inadvertently overcooked our steak, but you know what? Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens.
I think it's fine on this kind of dish.
Well, you know what it could be? This could be that happy accident where because I accidentally cut it too thick, my mistake of how I cooked it might have saved it from overcooking as much as it would have overcooked if I would have cut it the correct thickness. Because if I would have cut it the correct thickness, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to push this over here to the side real quick. And I've got these little bits and pieces that are just kind of left over. And I'm just going to dump the remainder of this garlic that's still stuck in there. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of that juice to have that flavor. And I'm going to make my puppies a snacks. Oh, I put the garlic in there. Darn it, I forgot. I can't use... I'm sorry, guys. I'll make you guys snacks later. I guess I'm... It's going to sound bad. I guess I'm making my wife some snacks for being a good camera person. So I'm just going to put these here. Let these cook real quick. Rinse this out. So, Tammy, how... Oops, sorry. Can you hand me a good towel I can use? So you were going to be doing your easy keto recipe last Tuesday. What happened?
On Wednesday.
Oh, on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. So what happened?
I couldn't talk. I didn't have a voice.
Couldn't talk, didn't have a voice. So do you have a plan to do a makeup video?
I should do a makeup video.
You know what? Let's do this. Let's put her out there. Let's go ahead and say, Tammy, you want to do a makeup video? Don't lose my spot. Let's go ahead and put this in here. Why don't you take a look at our book, 5 Ingredients. I challenge you to pick a recipe in the time it takes for this to get done. So let's go ahead and move this around because I was messing around. I'm not paying attention. I want to get these little pieces cooked. We're just going to move these around. This probably wasn't a good idea, but let these little guys cook. Let me try one of these asparagus. Do you have your fork, Ed? What? Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, they're hot. Let me take a bite. What do you think? I think it needs like some more garlic or something.
Well, you haven't put in
You know what?
coconut yet.
Yeah, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be a rebel. I'm going to go into your drawer, your little bougie drawer here, I'm gonna grab these little pepper flakes. I'm just gonna give it a couple more pepper flakes.
I don't think it needs much more of that.
Now I'm just gonna give it a little sprinkle. A little sprinkle, nothing big. To get on the asparagus. Got these little pieces here still cooking. Oh my God, see this is why I didn't have proper utensils. Okay. What do you think though? You think we're about done cooking-wise with the asparagus? Okay, so Tammy thinks we're about done. We're gonna go ahead and let this keep cooking. Let's go ahead and get this plated over here.
No, you're not.
Oh, thank you very much, because I need this allulose. And what do I need of this? I need one.
Coconut aminos.
Coconut aminos.
Sweetener.
I need about what? I needed one of those, yes?
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons. See, again, this is why you got to keep your better half around. Keeps you from doing dumb shit.
Full.
There's.
That wasn't full.
Okay, we'll go a little bit over in this one then.
All the way up. Pour over.
And I'll give it a little bit extra since last time I didn't go full. Okay, so now we've got that. I'm gonna let that do its thing for a little bit. This is still cooking. This is got a few more minutes.
You're not going to be able to stir that good with those little pieces.
Yeah.
In there. Why don't you just take those out?
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Or you know what? What if I just leave them in there?
It won't hurt it.
Yeah. I was gonna have them be little tasty treats, but you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna leave them in here and they can just be random pieces of meat. Why not? Why not? It was a good idea. Well, originally what my plan was, guys, is I was gonna go ahead and I was going to make my dogs a little treat, but I didn't do that. Do you want to get? You got a good shot at this? This is looking really good. This is looking a lot better than I thought. I was originally going to put some almonds in here, but Tammy said I should just leave it. But I'm thinking if I was to make this again, I might add some cashews or some water chestnuts. That little bit of a nut kind of texture. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're still going to use this. We don't need this anymore. Let's move this out of the way. Let's get rid of our paper. I thought it looked kind of neat having our butcher block paper here. Let's go ahead and get this in the trash. While that's finishing up, let me grab a napkin real quick. Okay, wipe this down. Make sure I close the door so I don't get any junk in the drawer. So I have to clean the board, but let's get this wiped down a little bit so at least it looks nice for presentation. Put that over here. Got our drink. Yep. Go ahead and turn our heat off. I'm just gonna spread this out a little bit.
Looks really good.
It does. I'm gonna go ahead and stick in our onions. Now I do like onions. I know a lot of people don't like onions, so this is gonna be very onion heavy.
Well, those are green onion tops. They're
Yeah. So if you don't like the green onion tops, this isn't part of the original recipe. This is just something I added on there. So I thought it sounded interesting. Another way you could serve this is you could use like a cauliflower rice if you didn't want to do, you could do the meat by itself, not do the asparagus. You could do a cauliflower rice. I think this would still be good with the cauliflower rice as well. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go ahead. Let's get our plates going. We'll put this over here like that. Tammy, do you want to get a quick shot of that? And I'll go ahead and get you a plate and we'll make a tasting plate.
Oops. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so there we go. Probably move that someplace different. I'm excited to see what this tastes like. This is looking pretty good. So Marilyn said that it looks like when she's cooking. So when's the last time you made some Asian-inspired spicy ginger beef asparagus, Marilyn? The correct answer is tomorrow, because I just gave you the recipe. Okay, so we got this. We don't want this to go bad, so we're going to put you over here. Let's move our pan out of the way. Put this away. Let's go ahead and grab our spoon. I'm sorry, our fork and our knife. And I think this came out pretty good. I think this came out really good.
Looks good.
You know what? Yeah, and before I cut into it, you know what I want to do? I want to take a look at the book and see how close I came to the book.
Well, that's it right there on the front, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's right here on the cover of the book. So there's our picture from the book. Looks pretty good. And here's our finished product. I'm not holding them too good, but I think that looks pretty tasty. Okay. Go ahead and get us a nice good piece of meat. Cuts pretty quick. A little over. Should be a little bit more pink inside. So it's a little bit over, but that's just me getting better at cooking.
If you cut it thin, you wouldn't have a choice.
Ooh, that's good. Like for realsies. Like, yeah, I'm trying to do, I mean, I'm having one of those Guy Fieri moments where he's like, dude, that's good. That's good. It's a little overcooked, but that's just on me not being good at cooking. This piece of asparagus is pretty soft.
This looks the same to me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's surprisingly good.
Why is it surprisingly?
Well, I'm not the biggest ginger person, and I was afraid the ginger was going to be a little overpowering. And secondly, I was afraid it was going to be not enough there, because when we put it in the thing, it didn't seem like it coated the meat super good. But I think it could use a little bit more red pepper. It's there, it's present. It just kind of tingles your mouth a little bit. But it's not like you really taste the red pepper, but it's there to where it gives a nice little different flavor profile. The asparagus, surprisingly good. This piece right here is talking to me and saying it needs to be eaten. So I have to eat it because this piece is saying, hey, you have to eat me. I think my biggest lesson I learned is do the meat in batches. I wonder if freezing the meat gave it extra water. So then we put the salt on it. It just threw it. No, she's shaking her head no. But no, it's pretty good. It goes well with my drink too.
Because it was totally thawed before you cooked it.
Well, this is the part where we're going to switch spaces. Trading places. Tammy's going to come over here. She's going to take a bite of it. She's going to give her thoughts on it. Take a look at the recipe if she wants to. If there's anything she would have done different, she'll go ahead and let you know. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Hopefully this wasn't too bad. I'm going to do this on a regular basis. Get a little better every time. I had fun. This is like way better than I thought it was going to be. The asparagus is, let me get some of this asparagus and beef together. I didn't think that coconut stuff was going to coat it enough to make it. I thought it was going to be too dry. I don't think it is at all. Okay. Go ahead and give her the microphone. Sorry guys, I just seen that Tammy had you a crazy angle.
Oh.
Crazy angle.
Well, it was looking at you.
You saying I'm crazy?
So let's taste this. I'm still in my work clothes.
So while she's cutting that up, let's get the face.
I'm gonna turn the stove off.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good thing.
It is really good. I don't know about more peppers.
You think just that little hint is good enough?
Mm-hmm.
I think it made it better because that wasn't in the original recipe, but I think that just a little bit of just give it a little extra flavor profile that I like.
Yeah, I really like that. You could put a little more, but to me, just getting that little bit of heat, with the coconut aminos flavor and the garlic and the ginger. I just love those flavors. I love Asian flavors. So I think this is totally a winner and definitely going to be in the cookbook.
Cool, awesome. I'll go ahead and what we'll do is on either probably the Instagram and the YouTube page, we'll go ahead and put the recipe, the adjusted recipe, on there. If you want the original recipe, can you show them the book? You can head on to Amazon, or we got our book at Ollie's, and you can do low carb, yum, 5-ingredient keto. That's where we got the original recipe from.
Yeah, the original recipe is in here. We changed it just a bit to suit our taste, but the original, I'm sure, is probably pretty good because this is delicious. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really did. I enjoyed watching Shane cook. He should do it more often.
Well, at least, I will commit, this was pretty good experience. So I think we did right was we set ourselves up ahead of time with the mise en place and, making sure we had an idea of what we're going to do. So we'll use those skill sets, learn skill sets, transition those into your videos as well. I think some of the fun on your videos, though, is the impulsiveness of it. But we're going to start putting some more content on YouTube. Where can they go to see your content on YouTube again?
Channel TL71 on YouTube is where our videos get downloaded later, and you can come back here on Twitch on Saturday is when we do our secret recipe. So I hope you guys will come back and watch that because that's the one he's talking about that's kind of impulsive because I have no idea what's happening. So it's kind of crazy. So if you guys come back.
How is that different than your normal day-to-day?
I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Bye. This is so good, honey. You definitely got to cook more. Or I got to pick good recipes for you to cook.